Talk can change the perspective on how you find your next position. I want to let you know that your questions do matter to us, and we'll be getting to them at an appropriate time during this session, as Jack stated. We are hopeful that this workshop will help you recognize different methods for job searching, identifying the perks of the state's labor exchange, Minnesota Works, compared to other third-party job boards, the importance of balancing your job search strategies, improving your current network efforts, cold calling, elevator speech, informational interviews, and demonstrate how the role of social media, although ever-changing, is here to stay. So those results just closed. I'm going to go ahead and apply them. And as you can see, networking is always the top result. We have 47 out of the 120 in attendance today that responded. You know what? Networking is number one, and 40 with online job search. We can understand that people find work from any number of job search resources, whether it's newspaper, online, help wanted signs. We're actually seeing newspapers come back doing a good jump as you have less competition, and it's local ways to apply for jobs. That is why we encourage, when you're looking at all these advertised sources, we encourage you to focus your search to an industry, career-specific job boards that yield results. Set up certain days to cruise different websites and allow yourself ample time to network. A common problem we've encountered with many job seekers are they tend to have that tunnel vision when it comes to looking for work. They narrow their search criteria to a word or a phrase that may be outdated, or they search by an occupation that is in decline. Therefore, we encourage job seekers to look beyond the job title. In the chat, I'll go ahead and put a place where you can compare your job titles to other jobs and other careers. So it gives you like a one-by-one, side-by-side view of secretary versus an office administrative assistant or so on. Other job seekers love to fall in love with the ease of applying online with a click of a button. If there is one thing you take away from this session, avoid mass applying. In fact, avoid applying directly through a third-party website if you can. This will only cloud your job search success. Instead, you should prioritize what you find. First, apply to those positions you know you're a great fit for, not with that silly quick apply feature, but with a tailored resume that tells the appropriate story on how you are the right person for the position. If you're skimming the job boards and you find that dream job, verify it is a true job. Don't use the links that are within the job posting. Instead, do your due diligence and research the position. It is best to use caution on the internet. If there are no caution flags thrown regarding the position, respond immediately with a tailored resume and cover letter through the company's correct employment portal. Unfortunately, closing dates are not written in stone. Some dates are assigned, but many private sector jobs will close an opportunity after X amount of applicants, or they find it an ideal hire. To make myself stand out from the crowd or the other applicants, I like to pick up the phone and call to talk to the hiring authority directly regarding the position. I'm going to ask for a complete job description, not just the job posting that you can find online, but the full job description. The expected closing dates is another thing that I like to ask about, and who and if it's possible to tailor a cover letter to. If there are no luxuries of connecting with an employer before applying, follow up with a phone call post-submittal, typically about 2 to 3 weeks. Currently on Minnesota Works is the state's labor exchange, as we are beginning to sunset this and morph into careerforce.mn.gov. More to follow on that in the coming months, but by the end of 2026, we should be up and running with our new labor exchange. More or less, a labor exchange is an online job board. What separates this website from the familiar job boards, ZipRecruiter, CareerBuilder, Indeed, or LinkedIn, is that Minnesota Works is 100% free to the end users, both the employers and job seekers alike. Using the reactions, give me a thumbs up if you've taken a detour at least once over the course of your career, having many different multiple skills or job titles that you could be competitive for. For me, I started off as an apprentice electrician. Then I morphed into a graphic designer and then a teacher. So I've had 3 different career paths that I could easily write a resume towards. This is why Minnesota Works and our labor exchange will allow you to have 5 resumes, 5 unique resumes to focus on different career fields or interests. Even better, these resumes do not need to be in a chronological format, which is organized by the most recent job being listed first in a reverse chronological order. Instead, you can build your resume that focus on past skills. So if you're thinking about getting back as an apprentice electrician, you can talk about the years of experience you've had prior in that. And focus on the past skills and highlight those jobs that are relevant to that career, listing the employment dates in a month tally versus a year start date and end date. Unfortunately, these resume formats are great for keyword search for the employer. They are not currently appealing when applying for a job on a company's portal or bring into an interview. That is why it's so darn important to connect with us in the upcoming resume writing workshop, which is the end of October, I believe, like Tuesday, October 28th, and follow up with a career force representative to ask for assistance, such as a resume review. As you advance in your job search, we understand that applications can be a barrier between you and the jobs you're aiming to get. A strategy I have found helpful to an open vacancy is to put more efforts into applying than the average applicant. As I said earlier, I will pick up the phone, I will call, I will ask to see the tailored resume, I will see the full job description. You should do that as well if you can. If a position is open, call to verify the position is still open. It's a great segue into a conversation. Nothing is more frustrating than creating a resume for a dream job that closed this past week or this past year. Ask to speak to that hiring manager who will be reviewing your resumes. Get their position, job title, and the correct spelling of their name. This will help if you decide to write that cover letter, as I said before. And if possible, mentioned before, ask for that job description to be emailed to you. Even though many of us have found success in the past by looking for jobs online, out of the 120 attendants, we had 1/3 of you find your last job that way. Moving forward, 75% of the jobs will be found through people you know. That is why we encourage you to balance your time online with other job searching activities such as attending conferences, networking events, job fairs, job clubs, group outings, participating, going bowling with a couple of friends, and just talking about your job search. Before I move on, I do want to open up our second poll and allow times to be asked in the questions. This poll will be open for approximately 30 to 45 seconds. So bear with me as I navigate to that. And there we go. How many people does the average American know? We have A at 10, B at 50, C at 150, D at 300, and E at 600 or more. And Jack, I have to say that this question always gets a varied response. And in the last year or since I've been doing this workshop, I've yet to see an agreed upon answer. They're usually split right down the middle as we look at the results here. So as you submit your final thoughts to this questions, ask yourself, how many acquaintances do you have and are you average? Before we share that answer with you, I want to explain who is in your network. Your network is bigger than you think. Try reaching out to past friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, and others who are genuinely interested in your well-being. Those are the ones who will also be interested in your success. But with the labor shortages that we're seeing in the past, employers are still offering bonuses to their employees for referrals. Start spreading the word that you're open to new opportunities with your traditional network and on your social network. Let others know that you are currently transitioning from one job to another and you're exploring new opportunities. I love putting that on the social media post. Open to new opportunities. Let me know if you think of any positions that might fit my personality. Check out my resume. It is humbling, really humbling to see how others will go out of their way to help you jumpstart their career by leveraging their own personal individual network. Considering adding all those additional factors of family, friends, neighbors, acquaintances, and their own individual network, it is easy to speculate the answer to our polls in the hundreds. So I'm going to go ahead and share that poll with you, the results, and how many people does the average person know? Right around 50, 150, 300. We have about 30 per one that responded that. So thank you for responding. It does paint a picture. So after you consider all those options that your family, friends, and the hundreds of people that we may actively know, it doesn't mean each connection is invested in our future, but it does shed light on the power of networking and how the right connection can make all the difference in the job placement. Here's a rhetorical question for you to think. Does your entire personal network know you are open for opportunities? What about your social media network, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, any of those? To be impactful in your applications, and the reason I should say this first, with social network, I would theorize that it takes less than 5 connections versus the 6 connections that the average person knows. I believe, Kevin Bacon. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, I believe, is the theory behind it, or separation is what it's called. But if we look at that, probably with engaging social media before the Kevin Bacon era, social media was non-existent. Now it is. Now it's here. So we got to make sure that we are using our social media to let others know, because we're spread out. We're not in a single neighborhood. So to go beyond on your applications, go beyond simply applying. Find out who works at those companies that you're applying for. And if you're doing that, connect the dots back to you. Robust job searching is about connection. It's not about perfection. There is no perfect way for a job search strategy that will work for everyone except for networking. Whether you are job searching online or looking through the help wanted pages, there is one strategy that is kind of a forgotten strategy, but it does separate itself from the rest, and it's called informational interviewing. I love that people are using the reaction, so let's keep this going. Let me see if you have used informational interviewing in the past. If you haven't, no worries. We'll talk about what that is in a few slides, but first, show me a thumbs up if you've used it, or a thumbs down if you have not. We're seeing quite a few thumbs down, and hopefully we'll start seeing some thumbs up, and thank you, Henry. The first step is becoming organized when you want to build up those connections, that informational interviewing, or just practicing your mock interviews that you might have over the phone. The first step is becoming organized. Find an employer you want to speak to and prepare some honest questions regarding the company or available positions. Write those questions down and maybe even create a script or a strategy or something that is tangible, something you can put in your hands or in front of you. To me, I want to have those talking points down, because I'd rather be over-prepared than under-prepared and overwhelmed. Step 2, before the call, you should practice out loud. Even during the mock interviews or future interviews, practice out loud. It helps to hear how you sound, and if you and it will help you to avoid many filler words such as ums, ahs, likes, Step 3, when a phone call is about to happen, find an environment free of distractions. I personally like the car, the den, office, or bedroom. Please stay away from empty rooms or an unfinished basement. It will sound as if you're in your bathroom, causing an unpleasant echo. And if you are in a bathroom, do not flush the toilet or turn the water on. Step 4, dress for success. Not like a suit or an extravagant gown, but comfortable jeans, a sweater, button down or polo shirt. And finally, step 5, as you speak with the employer, you need to smile. You sound happier and your voice fluctuates naturally. Those who are unable to see you speak can hear your smile and the brain paints a picture. If you follow those 5 steps from organizing, practicing out loud, freeing yourself from those distractions, dressing for success, and smiling, and put extra effort into researching the employer, making a connection with them can come off less daunting. Networking should never start off with, what can you do for me? Or what jobs do you have available? Or how much are you going to pay? If you really want to impress the employer, do your research. And have a lighthearted and brief conversation with them. Let them know that their time matters and that you'd love to have a further discussion to learn more about what the company is beyond the website or the news articles, and ask them for that informational interview. As we've seen in the comments, as well as the reactions, we've had people with thumbs up and thumbs down. For those who have tried informational interviewing in the past, I want to ask this question for those who have asked it. How have you found success? Thumbs up if you found success. Even though interviewing is part of the phrase, it is merely a casual conversation, usually scheduled during a coffee break. This is more successful when the company is either in between job postings, and I love all the thumbs up happening, or in the early postings of a job opening. Success is found by those who are prepared for the meeting, dressed appropriately, direct the conversation, and have a shared interest in the company. As the conversation closes, follow up with a physical thank you letter or expressing your excitement to learn more about their personal journey, and if possible, ask to connect with them on LinkedIn. There are tons of social media platforms that you could choose in the job search, from X, which was formerly Twitter, videos, resumes to Instagram portfolios. Job seekers are devoted to finding innovative approaches. Find innovative approaches to get noticed by employers. But for the most part, there are only 3 pillars of social media that really deserve our attention, and that's LinkedIn, Facebook, and X. The primary goal of social media is to connect you with people, to build communities and groups, share ideas and interests, and information regarding your chosen profession. What started as a simple service has evolved into a mandatory part of our job search, creative job search. The benefit of using social networks to grow your professional brand in terms of relationship building, portfolio creation, resume building, and all are endless. LinkedIn is a professional networking site. You can apply for jobs through LinkedIn, and recruiters use LinkedIn to find potential job candidates. Facebook and X are more private social media networking sites. We use these websites to express our personal beliefs and share sometimes not so pleasant articles. So we always want you to be careful about what you post online. Once it's posted, it's there. Consider Googling yourself to see what information comes up. If you do find something that is concerning on Google, like your name is maybe on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list, consider adding your middle name or initial to separate yourself from that. Many, if not all, employers will look you up if considered for the position. Check out the link that I just threw in the chat box to see what your Minnesota rap sheet might look like to an employer for a free background check. Think of LinkedIn as your water cooler resume. It's professional, it's friendly. LinkedIn is no longer just a place just to find people. It's a place of personal and professional growth, a place of business growth, a place of economic growth, and a place that makes a difference in professional lives like you. It's a community where you can be inspired, build relationships, and discover unexpected opportunities. Regardless if you are an avid or new user to the LinkedIn platform, the first thing you should do is update all your information on LinkedIn. In fact, you need to become what's called a LinkedIn All-Star to increase your chances to be recognized tenfold, which introduce our final poll of the day. Did you know LinkedIn gives priority to those who have an all-star status? We have A, no, B, all-star. What is that? And C, yes, I am a LinkedIn all-star. Achieving all-star status is easier than you think. You just need to spend some time completing your profile and a bit of maintenance keeping it up to date. To find out what level you are, go into your profile and look at your dashboard where you will see your current level in the top right. There are 5 awarded levels by LinkedIn, starting off with the beginner status, which is basically you just created an account. 50% or less completion. The second one, once you reach 50, you achieve intermediate status, followed by advanced, followed by expert, and then the goal, the R status, profile completion. So the LinkedIn All-Star status, I'm going to go ahead and send you this, but if you can't find it in your LinkedIn account, sorry, I was reading the chats at the same time as talking. Never a good strategy. So if you don't have an all-star meter that says, hey, you're an expert or an advanced or intermediate or beginner, you're most likely already an all-star profile rating. So once all those recommended sections are added, the meter will no longer be displayed on your profile. LinkedIn algorithms gives priorities to users with complete profiles by ranking them higher in search results compared with users with incomplete profiles. So it's worth investing some time in tidying up your profile and making sure it is complete. And here are the 8 steps to get to that all-star status. Having a high quality profile picture, the first step is having a high quality profile picture. Here's a good question for the chat. Of the images on your right of your screen, which images are appropriate for LinkedIn? More recent data that I found on LinkedIn, 51% of LinkedIn users have a fully completed profile. We understand starting something can be intimidating, but if this is used right, LinkedIn is worth your time investment. If you need motivation to finish, call your career force and ask someone to review your profile. I'd be happy to review your profile, and or set a deadline to write it down on a post-it note and hang it on your computer or wherever you access LinkedIn from. Having a high quality profile picture is important to get noticed on LinkedIn. Data shows that profiles with pictures receive 21 times more profile views than those without. Looking at the chat, we can see that everyone has an opinion. And to me, I would say B and C are the professional ones. F is pretty good, but it's cutting up right above her brows, her brow line. So if you are, even if you look at my public profile picture, which is right here, it's more playful or energetic than professional. It clearly shows my face and who I like to consider myself as. It's well lit. So if you are getting a professional photo, ideally with daylight, and it's a clear representation of who you are, then use that photo. It's amazing what you can do with a camera that's in your pocket these days. But if I were looking for new opportunities, I would try to get a more professional image of myself. Here's something I recently found out. Some state-sponsored career fairs advertise free LinkedIn headshots. Here at Douglas County Library, there is a photographer here taking those free headshots today. Your goal with your headline is to appear in more searches and articulating your value proposition. There is no magic formula when it comes to the perfect headline. Your headline should align with what it is you're trying to achieve. So you have to ask yourself, who do you want to find you? And what are they searching for? If you are answering those questions, writing down your headline comes much easier. The next step, providing the industry and location, is probably one of the easiest ways to get closer at an all-star status when editing your profile. Make sure to enter your country, your postal code, and your industry. These areas tell recruiters where you reside and what industries you're in. A lot of recruiters will search for job candidates on LinkedIn using the industry and location settings. So if you leave this area blank, you'll be left out of much desired search results. For the experience section, it's crucial to include your most current position, along with 2 prior roles if you have them. According to Forbes, LinkedIn members are with current positions are discovered 16 times more often in recruiter searches and see a 29 times fold in profile views. But what about those who are in between roles? I get asked all the time and don't have a current job listed. Does that affect your all-star status? Unfortunately, it does. It does put you back into the expert level. So for those who are without a recent job listed, here is what you need to do, and it's totally acceptable. When actively searching for employment, stating job seeker as your current job title on LinkedIn is perfectly acceptable. The straightforward approach clearly communicates your current career status. Alternatively, career transition simply conveys that you're in a professional period of change, offering a more nuanced option for those who are seeking to emphasize their career development. Just like on your resume and action verbs, use action verbs and short, broad statements targeting towards your desired job or field. I prefer using a gerund phrase, which I believe which is a verb that acts as a noun ending in ing, such as training, motivating. Use your resume as a guide to make sure to revise any copy and paste errors, as formatting might not look as nice on your LinkedIn profile. Step 5, skills. To achieve all-star status, you need to include at least 5 skills in your skills section. Include skills that you're good at and skills related to the keyword employers are using to find candidates. An easy way to find additional keywords is go to your ideal role on LinkedIn and look through 5 to 10 postings, job postings. After a while, you'll start noticing certain words popping up repeatedly. You can use those in your skill section, or you can give artificial intelligence a try, which is also referred to as AI. You have Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, Apple Intelligence, DeepSeek, or ChatGPT, OpenAI, whatever source you're using or you're familiar with. Those are just some of the popular ones. Give me a thumbs up and then we'll get to your questions. If you've used AI to help edit or create content for your employment resources. All right, Jack, what questions do you have?
All right. Gosh, we're having such a great workshop today. Lots of interactions. Can you tell us a little bit about how or what we're supposed to do if we are between jobs as far as on our LinkedIn profile?
Yeah, as I just mentioned previously, that saying that you are open for new connections, or that your job title can be actively searching. It can be a list of different things. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat, I think. So this job seeker as your current job title is perfectly acceptable. So out of all the sections in this post, as a wordsmith, so excellent question coming in. This, for me, was the hardest section to nail down before 2023. Crafting a compelling summary took time. It took energy, revisions, and coffee. Lots and lots of coffee. but with accessible AI tools available to the end users, as a lot of us are using it today, such as you and I, what took hours to craft took only a few moments to revise. In fact, if you go to my LinkedIn profile, 80% of the content in my about statement, I originally wrote, and then AI creatively turned it so it's more conversational, more inviting. This tool unraveled my career highlights, it organized my thoughts, and added some humor that connected with my headline, I believe the coffee reference. If you do plan on using AI to assist in revamping any of your employment documents, don't rely heavily on AI. Use it as a guide, as a template, as a map to map out your highlights, as your documents need to be written in your own voice. You can't just say, hey, AI, write this, and just say, hey, that's good to go. I'm going to go ahead and put this on my profile. People can ask the same question and get the same results. So you don't want to be the same as everyone else. But if you are a self-proclaimed Luddite, a person who's opposed of new technology or ways of working, here are some conventional ways to create a strong summary. First off, start with an opening statement that clearly shows why you are on LinkedIn. This
Oh, it's going to pop on for just a second. It looks like we have lost Sam. And he's going to come back. We're just having a little technical difficulty. I do want to jump into one of the questions in the chat. It says, isn't there software that companies can use to tell if you're using AI? Absolutely. There is software. And so that's where it's really important. Just like Sam had said, that AI is absolutely a tool. It's something to help guide us and give us information and give us different directions. So if you use AI in any way to help you with your resume or to help you with your cover letter, to make sure to go through that and make any changes so that it comes out as authentic and real and coming from yourself. And then I'm going to jump in and look at, we have, I think until, if you do copy and paste something, so someone asked a question, says, I think you can tell if you've copied and pasted. So remember, if you do copy and paste something into your resume, it's a good idea to go back and copy the entire resume and make sure that you've changed the font and the sizing so that everything matches. Sometimes we see people, and I've even done it when I've sent documents out before. I kind of have issues with typos. I'm trying to get better. But sometimes you can tell on a document where people have copied and pasted. It's not a bad thing to copy and paste, but just make sure you go through and you highlight and you change the font and the sizing of the letters. Okay, so I am going to, Sam has had a technical difficulty. Oh, let me jump in over here. I'm going to go into participate.
All right. Sorry
Good
about
deal.
that. The internet here at the library disconnected on me, so my apologies, and now I'm on a hotspot. So, all right. So, as I was saying, make sure, and I believe it was right around like the three things that you should focus on. First, starting off with that opening statement, if you're a Luddite, providing a summary of your work experiences, most impressive skills, and then focusing on your achievements rather than listing your duties. Quantify your achievements with numbers if you can, and start your bullet points with action verbs to really showcase your value. For example, instead of saying responsible for managing a team, say led a team of 20 to achieve a 30% increase of productivity. Finally, wrap it all up, tie it in a bow with a closing statement about the types of opportunities that excite you and what kind of roles you're looking for. Don't forget to include your contact information so interested parties can easily reach out to you. Number 7, education. The biggest benefit of adding this section gives you an opportunity to connect or be found by alumni, since you have those built-in connections. This section is also especially important if you're a recent graduate or a student. If to reach all-star status, the last thing is you need to have at least 50 connections. That's 50. You can connect with others by sending them an invitation or by accepting their invitations. You can also jumpstart your connections by allowing LinkedIn to match you up with people from your email address book. Another way to start is simply by searching, using the search feature to find companies you used to work at and connecting the dots back to your coworkers. Establishing connections is an interactive and a core part of LinkedIn, and the platform will reward you in search results if you have more connections. Straight from the CEO's mouth last year, every minute on LinkedIn, almost 200 people join. 9,000 connections are made. 4,500 applications are submitted, and around 3 to 5 people are getting a job, and that's every minute. Networking is the key to job search success, and it's difficult, even under the best circumstances. But networking while unemployed can be especially uncomfortable. If this struggle is real for you, networking while unemployed is not as hard as it may seem. In fact, here are a few simple strategies you can do on LinkedIn to
Sam,
make
I'm
the
sorry.
whole process easier and more productive. When LinkedIn became mainstream back in 2010, you probably actually unintentionally accepted an invitation to be part of someone's network. If you have less than 25 connections and have not really used LinkedIn since or in the last decade, start fresh and sign up with a new LinkedIn account to begin growing your network. Let the site walk you through the basics.
Sam, are
Identifying
you
your
able to hear me?
information, your headline, your work experience, and your education, and possibly explore your email connections. In 30 minutes or less, you'll have an online presence that backs up the content of your resume. If you have an established network, click on your connections and scroll through those second and third degree connections, suggested connections. You can add a personal note and a short statement of how you know each other. And if relevant, view their profile and endorse them for a skill set you have witnessed. I just checked my account. I have well over 500 first degree connections and nearly 600,000 second degree connections I could be introduced with. When making a recommendation, basically it's a shout out to a past colleague. You can also add another personal note when submitting a recommendation, asking for the recipient for one in return, but always allow an option to jump out of it. Don't make it saying, hey, I did this for you, you do it for me. Instead saying, hey, I really appreciate all the help you've given me over the years. I'm just entering a new job search or a new cycle, and I'm looking for some recommendations. If you're available and you feel like I can contribute, or if you want to give me a shout out on LinkedIn, that would be amazing. Otherwise,
Sam,
don't
are
worry
you
about it.
able to hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Oh, good. I've been trying to hop on for a little bit. Can you share your
Oh,
slides
stop
again?
sharing?
Because they've
Okay,
gone
sorry.
away. No,
Yeah,
that's okay. We are
I don't know what's happening. Stop being
no, everything
shared.
is good. That's part of, I think, being a team, and you take care of each other and you roll and flow through. We are good.
All right, there we
Oh,
go.
this is so good. Thank you.
All right. So as I was saying, um, instead of doing the recommendation saying I did this for you, you do this for me, tit for tat, I want you to go ahead and make sure that you give that opt out that, hey, I know you're busy. If you could do it, I really appreciate it. If not, no worries. I can ask someone else as well. So LinkedIn has over, and I just looked this up today, 1.2 billion members in more than 200 countries and territories and around 70 million registered companies. A strategy I employ is to follow the companies that I desire to work for. If you're feeling like a hard time trying to connect with those or grow your connections, follow companies. That's a great way to get some connections started. Go to groups that interest you, that you feel you're a subject matter expert. Click on the people that have experience with the company. Maybe there's a hidden connection where you're second degree that your cousin knows this person. It's a great way for you to really build out those connections and begin a conversation with those who are in HR or or a past connection, as I mentioned. If you do a little research, just a little, those who have LinkedIn Premium will see that you dropped by. Another strategy I have used when actively seeking is to share companies' articles and comment on their recent posts. Speaking of posts, increase your LinkedIn traffic by sharing articles from those companies that you're following, from other subject matter experts in your profession. Try adding a hashtag to the article before publishing another. Before publishing is another strategy to engage with their connections. Another strategy on top of that is to do a name drop in the comments. That way, let's say I put Jack in there and say, hey, Jack, what are your thoughts on this training strategy? She will get a notification that I mentioned her, and it'll prompt her to go to that LinkedIn account and read up on that article and potentially start that conversation. One thing you need to know is do not allow your LinkedIn account to become idle. There are tons of tools accessible for those who are willing to try, to include videos, hashtags, and changing your URL is just one strategy. LinkedIn is using profile videos, and this is something that's relatively new, to replace those water cooler moments with a short clip. And for those moments where a face-to-face meeting is more appropriate or the best way to get things done, they've also included a video call over Teams, BlueJeans by Verizon, or a Zoom directly from the message thread. Another perfect place to have that informational interview. With the influx of younger users joining the platform is catering to those needs with elevator speeches. To add a video speech, tap on your profile picture, and this has to be done on your smart device. Tap on your profile picture. This feature does not work in desktop, and you can add a 30-second video of just about yourself. If you're having struggles like creating a script, type a little bit about your employment history and go use your favorite AI and just say, hey, I want to do an elevator speech on LinkedIn for the video, 30 seconds. Can you compose a script and make it sound like Jack Black, if that's your personality? They do a tremendous job, and think of AI as your personal assistant. So get creative with it, but don't just copy and paste. Use it as a guide, a roadmap to success. After sharing your video, add a hashtag when posting content. You want to be searchable, and this is a way that you can become searchable. On your screen, you see 5 different hashtags job seekers are using when they're posting articles. And when creating content for any social media post that you want to have traction, especially if you're saying, hey, get out there and hire me, we do encourage adding a few hashtags with a simple phrase or a word, 3 at most. Hashtags are a useful tool for networking, finding job opportunities, and sharing your own job search to get noticed by employers who are also using social media to recruit. You've probably seen this open to work banner popping up on LinkedIn, and it's been causing quite a stir. While it's meant to help you get noticed by recruiters, it's also raised some eyebrows because of the 20th century stigma widely felt as a personal failure, and that's unemployment. It's more common than you think unemployment is. In fact, a whopping 50 to 60% of Americans will face unemployment at some point in their careers. And with the career shifts happening more frequently due to factors like technology advancements, AI, globalization, it's no surprise that the average worker switches careers 3 to 7 times in their lifetime. That's crazy. So why not be open about your job search? Using that open to work banner you'll be able to tap into your hidden network on LinkedIn. Another neat option about Open to Work is you can customize it to your liking. You can specify what kinds of jobs you're looking for and how visible you want that banner to be. Whether or not you use the Open Work banner, it's totally up to you. And if you're judging people who are using the banner, please lighten up. Next week, it could be you thinking about adding the banner to your profile. The most important thing is to put your best foot forward and show potential employers what you can bring to the table. A strong LinkedIn profile and active networking are still crucial to success. So Jack, we are coming up on the time for it. So I want to leave some questions before I jump in and do some demonstrations. Are there any questions right now?
Can you talk? Yes, there are. And I just want to give a shout out for your ability to be a cool cucumber while getting back online and making it happen. Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, time to
So-
spare.
So let's talk about the people getting the spam bots, getting concerned about all the extra
Are you there?
traffic they're receiving from scammers. Oh no, I'm here. Hello. Can you hear me, Sam?
Okay, so, yeah, you cut out just for a brief moment.
Okay. I'm back. So can you talk about the spam bots, the random extra just junk that's coming from folks, the safety concerns with LinkedIn?
Yeah. Well, with any professional website, when you're putting your information out there to be contacted, you have that risk of being scammed. LinkedIn doesn't have it nearly as often as other job boards. I'm not going to name those, but being verified and making sure that it's a correct platform is always a good strategy. So if you are worried about that, do your due diligence. So if you are getting connected, figure out how they're getting your connection. I recently threw on Indeed or created an Indeed account because it asked me to use it because of all these AI bots that are applying for jobs. And now I'm starting to get text messages from numbers I've never heard of. So I'm also seeing some traffic that way, and it's because I added that resource. I haven't got anything off LinkedIn because my phone number is not on LinkedIn, but they can direct message me, and then I can connect the dots. I can see how many connections they have. I can see so many things that would give me more confidence that this person is a legit and the opportunity is legit where I'm not going to be scammed. Is there a fail safe for all this? A handshake typically is the best way. Talking to a person in person and going to those interviews, local interviews. Next question.
Random, it's not necessarily LinkedIn, but can you talk to us briefly about the appropriate dress code for a headshot?
Yeah. Well, a headshot is shoulders roughly and up to your head. Having a little movement, posturing is a good thing. Not staring directly at it. What are you trying to communicate? Are you an author? Are you a librarian? I had some fun with AI the other day. Just with my colleagues, we were just throwing out our pictures and just seeing what AI could do for our profile pictures. So we took just a random picture of ourselves, threw it on there, and asked it for a professional. Make me Indiana Jones, and it threw me into an Indiana Jones. Asked it for costumes. You could do stuff like that, but you start getting photoshopped out. So the best thing to do is just a shirt, something that shows off your skills, your face, and not too much clutter in the background, and speaks to what type of position you're applying for.
What type of clothing?
Clothing wise,
For the
I mean,
headshot?
whatever you're comfortable with. Dress for success is what my pop always said. Don't dress for the job you have, dress for the job you need or want. So if you're looking to work at Wall Street, you're probably going to want to have a sports jacket. If you're looking to do in-office work, probably a polo shirt or button down, nothing too fancy. It can just don't have a graphic that is a political reference or alcohol reference. Just be as professional as if you walk to the store and see like an office and see what they're wearing, that's what you could wear.
Perfect. We've had some questions about how to remove their LinkedIn profile.
So that's a strategy that I've yet to figure it out. You can request it through LinkedIn. It does take time, but they want a 2-point verification. If you can't log into your 2-point verification code, your phone number changed, your email address is locked out, and you can't, and it's the endless cycle. You just let that one become idle and make your profile, create a new one that represents what you want to share. Hopefully that helps. All right.
Oh, I think that's great. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I want to show just a few things that I always get questions about, or when I get a profile view, I do have job seekers say, how do I change my URL? So if you go, whenever I say check on your profile, that's this guy right over here. Right to the right, you can change your profile URL. If you've already created business cards, or you have a QR code that links to this this URL, and you change it, all those business cards and wherever you have that QR code is now, hey, we've reached an error, and that's the last thing you want to put on your resume. If you are looking for hashtags, if you're thinking, hey, I want to figure out who's working in HR at Target. Let's just throw Target company. Let's hit that, and we can actually say target company. We want to see companies. Oh, I missed it. I was too quick on the click happy. It's right here. People. And then we want to put in HR. So if you're trying to figure out who HR is at Target, adding HR, the company name, you can see what those individuals are on LinkedIn. It's pretty cool. A way to get that. Let's put in hire me and see what hashtag hire me comes up. There we go. Open to work. As you can see, people are putting out there that they're open to work. So there are countless things that you can do. If you're looking for jobs, you can go into your preferences for that open to work banner. You can turn that on by going to the preferences underneath that. And you can put in there what kind of job title you're looking for, the locations you want, how flexible are you? Are you casually looking? Are you immediately? If you're casually looking, maybe just put recruiters only. Only those recruiters are out there looking to recruit you. So different ways that you can access that. All right, let's jump back to this. If there's no other questions, thank you for joining. Even with hashtags, conducting informational interviews, connecting with users, and following companies, LinkedIn users achieve more success on this platform by posting regularly, sharing updates, and commenting on other profile articles. There are so many tools you can use when researching companies and finding careers. In fact, there are endless topics we probably could have covered during this brief 1 hour that could have an immediate impact on your job search. But hopefully today you can take a few of these suggestions to see what works for you and maybe what might be dated. For those who are new to LinkedIn and would like to create an account, we do have staff available at our local career forces ready to guide you through the process, cheer you on, motivate you, and share their input. So come to the career force, reach out to us. We are friendly, we are approachable, and we care. You can watch a video on our interactive virtual websites that walks you through the process of creating a LinkedIn account. And I'll try to put that in the chat once I find where the chat box went. There it is. All right. So thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking with you. And if you have any questions, you have my contact information right on the screen. Jot that down and reach out to us. We are just tickled pink you could join us today.
Bye. Thank you.